It's honesty. It's a bit of authenticity. I don't know whether he's right or wrong, because you've seen that for yourself and you can't take the mickey out of it.
You're not bad at paddle tennis, I have to say.
We get constantly compared to the old geezer from Up because of these glasses. They bloody well should be.
That's the point.
But
And that's what he's trying to validate.
Danny, let him win. It's his birthday. Wednesday, the 24th of September. The 24th of September, yes. Ali McCoy's birthday, but Simon Jordan's birthday as well. Danny Murphy, happy birthday to Simon Jordan.
Fantastic, thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Theo Pafitis' birthday as well.
Oh, your mate, Theo.
Yep, I'm the youngest by a mile of the other two.
I see. Okay, so you're pushing your late 50s maybe. You're catching up with
Mid
me.
to late 50s, yeah.
Okay.
It's bad enough that I have to get constantly compared to the old geezer from Up because of these glasses. I'm now sitting in a chair where I'm almost touching the floor. I'm like an old git. The one thing I was pleased about
Go on.
is that I'm still 5 years younger than the average age of a football club chairman.
Oh, really?
25 years ago when I bought a football club. The average age of a football club chairman was 5 years older than I am now.
I see.
When I bought a football club 25 years ago.
Well, Danny, as we know,
Claim to fame, that's about it.
on this very show, he has made some wild claims about his sporting prowess. And we literally have gone to some lengths to find some pictorial evidence of what he has and hasn't done. In the sporting landscape. Now, if you're listening live on talkSPORT, we'll try and explain this. There we are. If you're watching at the moment on TV, then he tells us that he was a skateboarder of
Significant repute. Yep.
I believe him,
repute.
actually. I do believe him.
There he is. That was you were taking part. That was with Team GB in 2012,
With
wasn't it?
my friend Tony Hawk beside me.
That was magnificent. You did so well. Look at those leg muscles. And of course, was he a decent cricketer? You bet he was. There he is coming off at Lord's, everybody. He was. I think he did knock up 100 that day.
Thank you.
That was Simon after a very lengthy innings, but still looking fresh. Ballon d'Or winner. You bet he's
like
been
John
a
Textor
Ballon
there.
d'Or winner. How about that? That was just a few days ago over in Paris.
They're not flattering images, are they?
He was picking up the Ballon d'Or award. You'll love this. You've got to watch it later. And county standard tennis player. But no, there he is at Wimbledon, getting down to a fairly testing ground
You
shot.
look like an old fiddler there. Getting worse.
It is
isn't
magnificent. And you scored at Wembley, so you tell
I gave you that video the other day. Why aren't you playing that?
I don't know. I'll find. We'll play it up in Scotland when we get up there. It's a bit grainy, but there you are, holding none other than the World Cup close to your
Thank you, mate.
chest.
There you go.
Won by England way back in 1966. But you're right, and we bow to your sporting talent.
Why is there not one with him with his javelin?
What about paddle? You bring paddling it because you've seen that for yourself and you can't take the mickey out of it.
You're
can you?
not bad at paddle tennis. I have to say, I've seen that.
I'm
for
the Baron
myself.
Munchausen
Old man's
sporting
game.
achievements.
How do you feel? Because not that long ago, you gave us all a hell of a fright because you had a bit of a health scare. More than that, Simon.
All good.
Of course it was.
I've got a beautiful young son, so I'm very blessed.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday. Great to have you with us this morning. And to everybody, Alan McCoy says the same. To everybody out there, Theo Pafitis, happy birthday. To everyone who has a birthday today, a very happy birthday. You share it with some significant people. Ali got a lot of messages when he was on there this morning. I'm looking down. Nothing. Not one. If you want
Good. That's the way I like it.
If you want to,
Didn't Eddie Hearn send one in?
if you want to wish the youngest
Picture of himself,
and best
yeah.
looking ever Premier League chairman, then you can. Simon Jordan is right beside Mr. Murphy and myself. 81089 if you want to wish Simon birthday, and Danny and I will completely overlook them. No, we won't. We will pass them on and pass them on. There's one from David Johnson. Thank you for that, David. Happy 60th, Simon. No, I think you've got a bit.
Few years to go, yeah.
He's got a few more to go there. But happy birthday to you. So, Simon, let's hear Danny on last night, because a night of no real shocks in the Carabao Cup, but a bizarre red card takes the headlines at Anfield. I mean, Danny, I've got to say, Ekitike replaced Isak at halftime. He was booked for punching the ball in the air soon after his introduction. Then, after tapping in the winner, he took off his shirt, held it to the cop, and that saw him get a second yellow. Two yellows make a red, and off he went. I mean, we'll get Danny's taking it in a moment, but Arne Slot summed it up.
If you score in the Champions League final in the 87th minute after outplaying 3 players and hitting it in the top corner, I can maybe understand that you say like, this is all about me, what did I do? But I'm old-fashioned. I'm 47 and old, maybe. And I haven't played on this level, but I did score a few goals. And if I would have scored a goal like this, I would have turned around and walked up to, in this situation, Federico Chiesa and say, this goal is all about you. This is not about me. So yeah, needless, not smart. You call it stupid. I call it stupid, by the way, as well.
Whoa, good for Slot. What do you think, Dan?
So refreshing, isn't it? To not jump to the defence and make excuses. Exactly what he said. You know, it wasn't a 30-yarder in the top corner. It was a tap-in after Chiesa put it on a plate for him. He seems to have a bit of a bee in his bonnet when he come on. I mean, he's had a wonderful start. The fans have taken to him. He's got 5 goals.
Presence of Isak breathing down his neck.
A little bit. It felt that way. Like, I'll show you. Look, here's my shirt. Here's my name. It's about me. And
You disappointed in him?
he's a young guy. He's emotional. It happens. You know, if that's the worst thing he does in a Liverpool shirt, nobody will care. The actual output physically on the pitch and the goal scoring has been great. There was some positives actually last night. Southampton played well.
Yes. Yeah,
They give a good account of themselves. Chiesa was terrific.
Yeah.
The young Italian boy, Leone,
Yeah.
good debut.
Ekitike's 23, Danny. It's not as if he's 18.
Just not had a lot of regular first team.
Starry-eyed around the place.
No, but it's been a lot in a short space of time, hasn't it? He's kind of taken off straight away. So 23 is young.
What did you think Slot there, Simon? Is that right up your street?
Well, yes, I think it's also the product of someone that's in control of a dressing room because you've got a winning team. You've got a team that's he's walked through the door, they've won the league. They've started the season now with 5 wins in the Premier League. They're top of the Premier League. They're not playing particularly well, but they're still top of the Premier League. And so with all that in mind, that's the currency that he gets. I wonder if he'd have done this 5 games into his first season and they hadn't established the credentials, maybe he would. But you have to call it for what it is. It's honesty. It's a bit of authenticity. It's what he thinks rather than what he thinks he should say to keep a dressing room on side. That dressing room is on side, A, because he's got an embarrassment of riches, because if they don't come on side, he'll change them anyway, which is kind of what the PSG coach's mentality is anyway, isn't it? Enrique, you come training late, you don't play.
Yeah.
And that mentality is only allowed to you if you've got an embarrassment of riches. But notwithstanding that, put all that to one side, it's nice to hear it. It's what people know. It's what people think. It's what people should say. And also, everyone should have to bend over backwards to pamper the egos of young players that can't take a bit of criticism when they do something stupid. So well done him.
Whether he would have or not, but he's apologised, hasn't he? He's come out and apologised, Ekitike.
Yeah, playing for a big club. And,
yeah.
It's done. It's under the carpet.
Ekitike's lost, Danny. Is it now Alexander Isak's gain off the mark with a debut goal? He's now got a free run, if he likes, for a starting spot, hasn't he?
Well, I still think there'll be lots of game management from the manager in regards to minutes to both of them because they've got I think they're in Galatasaray next midweek and then Chelsea away the weekend after. So he's going to get, a little breather on the weekend. But yeah, it's not ideal because he's scoring goals and playing well. You want your best when they're playing well. You want your best players available, but he'll have to suffer it. I think Andy Robertson spoke brilliantly after the game as well. He just said he won't do it again.
Yeah,
it was also taken if it is a problem because I don't think it would be a problem for a manager of Slot's caliber and presentation. But it's taken one conundrum off the table about how he breaks it to him that he wants to put Isak in the team because he's paid 125 million quid for him.
You're right. Exactly. I mean, Isak subbed at half time, but he spent the interval with a GPS vest over his shirt performing shuttle runs. What do you make of that when you saw that?
Yeah, I get it. You're protecting him. He's got his goal, played off another half a game, running not in a game environment takes away the risk of injury, keeps topping him up a little bit more rather than sending him out after a little sit-down rest for 50
He's not 100% fit yet. Is that what they're telling us?
Well, he said it, didn't he, after the game?
Yeah.
Well, he must be fit, but he's
fit, but he's not match. Yeah, he wouldn't be playing him.
He's fitter than you and me.
Yeah, put together. But he showed glimpses again.
Yeah,
really lovely. He's just elegant. He's beautiful to watch.
So much for Liverpool. I wonder on the other side of the city this morning if there's some regret being felt amongst Evertonians. We're going to get to that
they took
very
thousands
shortly.
There, Jim.
They did, yeah.
They took thousands. They'll be chewing.
Well, that was it. It's a cup. So why not do everything you can to stay in it? Well done, Wolves. We'll get to that next. A big day for Simon and Danny and everybody else who shares a birthday on September the 24th. Jim White, birthday boy Jordan and Danny Murphy live in talkSPORT. Everton. What an opportunity last night. Well done, Wolves. They beat Everton by 2-0 to progress to the next round of the Carabao Cup. But should there be cup regrets, especially for Everton this morning? Because this was a chance, was it not? It's 30 years, 30 long years since they last lifted major silverware. That was in 1995 FA Cup. Memory serves me right. Paul Rideout. But anyway, put that to one side. Evertonians, was it a big missed opportunity? This was Moyes post-match.
Well, it's one game in the Cup we've lost. We've actually played really well. We've just come away from Anfield, played pretty well there. So we've started the season good. So I wouldn't be certainly getting too disappointed about it. But we'll set pretty high standards, and we obviously didn't reach them as much as we'd like tonight. But the second half performance in a way merited a draw out of the game. I think that.
Was it a big missed opportunity last night when you think of it? Moyes made 7 changes to his starting lineup, Danny. We might have expected that. It's the Carabao Cup, but Evertonians have got a thing about winning something now. So long since they did so. I mean, before you answer me, there's Ian in Liverpool this morning. David Moyes is something of a disgrace. 3 weeks ago, our front line ruined Wolves. Ruined Wolves.
Yeah, they beat them in the league.
He then drops them all for this game. Our next game 6 days away, plus international break around the corner. 30 years, no trophy. You'd think he'd absolutely go for this one. I wonder why he didn't.
Well, the reason he didn't is because he's got other players who need some game time, who he must have felt capable, the likes of McNeil, Diblin, Alcaraz. They're decent players, by the way.
But do you feel the Evertonians' pain here, Danny?
Yeah.
And frustration?
I do, because they don't play till next Monday. He's right. They did go there with that front line and cause them all sorts of problems. And that front line is quite dynamic. It's got lots of talent there and creativity. And it was a risk leaving them all out, for sure. Now, don't get me wrong, they could have played them and still come out. But at least then there's no excuse. I'm surprised at Moisey. Not a lot of respect for him, as you know. But cup competitions for Everton is their only chance, isn't it, of course? And getting something. And they're already out of 1. And Wolves, lack of confidence, lost 5 on the spin. You've beaten them already a couple of weeks ago. Just let the front lads go and cause havoc again. So I can't go against the Everton fans complaining, because I get it.
I get it too. Do you not, Simon? I mean, I totally understand the frustration. Who's to say it might have ended differently? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. Did Wolves make any changes? Doesn't look like they did.
They made a few.
I mean,
less, but they made a few.
I mean, obviously, we all know the importance of this cup because we had a national holiday celebration for the fact that Newcastle won it last year. Everybody in the media had an outpouring of love for a club that hadn't won anything for such a long time. So it's a terrible miss.
We did an hour in Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup.
Yeah, all right.
Okie
dokie.
I know what I'm doing with your candles.
I mean, there must be a reason that David felt that there was a need to rotate the squad. There must be a reason why he's, in part, seemingly prioritising an outcome 6 days further down the line. He's not a fool. He's not a manager that doesn't know his way around the game. He's managed 1,000 games, I suspect, and most of them in the Premier League, so he knows his way around. Everton have been in managed decline for 5 years. Maybe people should pack it in and just let the manager make his decisions.
Look, the team was still full of quality players.
Correct.
And some of those players, if you never give them a chance.
You just bought Tyler Diblin for 40-odd million quid for Southampton, who's supposed to be £100 million footballer, which he wasn't. You've got all the boys on the bench that came on anyway.
They came on, yeah.
So is he right to go league first, no matter what? League first?
I don't know whether he's right or wrong, but I don't think it's right to catastrophise a decision made by a manager that A, changed the direction of travel for Everton last year, B, is doing mostly better things than Everton have seen in the last 2 or 3 years. Yes, it's an opportunity missed to progress in the next round. There's no guarantee they'd have won the Cup. They could have won this particular game. They could have got injuries by playing people, and people would say, why would you play our best players in a meaningless Cup game? You can't do that.
I don't think they would have, but I know what you mean. It's balance. It's balance, because the reality is the Everton situation with the games coming up, they're not playing till next Monday, and there is an international break after the weekend after.
But surely Moisey will look at it and go, right, because this is a footballer. Play me gaffer, play me gaffer. Okay, fine, here you go. We're playing against a poor Wolves side. They're out of form, out of confidence. Go in there and prove it to me. So maybe he learned some lessons last night about players that he thinks he can and can't rely on.
He's caught between a rock and a hard place, but ultimately what you've got to think of is, I would, as a coach, be thinking of my own situation and the impact on the fans if we lose, if I rest all these.
But he's a bigger manager than just thinking. I mean, he is a very experienced manager that's been under pressure and ready jobs.
Do you know what, Simon? He said the right things there, but he'll be fuming that some of those lads didn't.
Well, that's the point. He gave him a chance.
We saw what it meant when Palace won the FA Cup. We saw what it meant to the club. We saw what it meant to the fans.
Sure.
We saw, dare I say it, we saw what it meant to Newcastle and their fans when they won the Carabao Cup. Yeah. And unlike what you say, we didn't make a 4-act play.
Did they rotate?
In the early rounds, they probably did. And to be fair to Everton,
did Newcastle in the early rounds rotate? If they did and their players stepped up, then ask the question of what squad Everton have got.
Let's not forget
against Wolves, who've lost 5 from 5 in the Premier League.
Yeah, but they're a Premier League team. So, for example, if you look at Fulham, they drew home to Cambridge or whatever it was. Chelsea got Lincoln away, all right, tough for half an hour, and then they get over the line. Everton have got to go away to a Premier League team. So even if they played the best team, they could have still lost. But now the result's gone against them, the question mark is there, and it's valid. And for 4,000 Everton fans that went down there and paid their money, they were expecting to go through and see the best team play, and they didn't. So they've got every right to be fuming.
Sure. I mean, I am delighted, personally, that Moyes is back at Everton.
So am I.
And I hope and pray they do well, because, by God, they deserve to.
They will do well, because he's a terrific manager.
Not that Sean Dyche was up to no good. He was great as well.
I think he got it wrong.
At the end of the day, I think he got it wrong, Simon. I mean, you can see what it means to the Everton fans who go there last night thinking, do you know what, we might just go deep in this.
I mean, they've just played.
We saw what it meant to Newcastle
well, listen, they played at Aston Villa, another team out of form, out of rhythm, and underperforming at Everton, and drew 0-0. So and with their full strength side out that they could have made available for the Wolves game. So there's no guarantee that they would have put their best team out. All it does is create an argument around a manager and his right to make a choice. And if he's prepared to, and maybe he's got West Ham next game.
The stats tell us that he's wrong to do it. The result
tells us that.
Yeah,
the last 5 seasons, they've had 4 third-round exits. There's a pattern here, isn't there?
Well, let's get one thing right. Let's get one.
How honestly deep do they want to go in the tournament?
Why is that? Because the last 4 or 5 years, just characterise it.
Lack of strength in
depth. They had no money. They were going into free fall as a football club. They were all over the place getting sanctioned. They were under special measures from the league.
One of the exits was to Queen's Park Rangers.
Doesn't matter who the exit was. You got to put the situation surrounding the club and its circumstances into context. And
I'm giving you context.
But the context is that Everton had no money. They had hardly a threadbare squad. They had people that were avoiding relegation season after season. So the context of it was they were in a different position. Now, of course, you've got the same outcome.
So if you're Dan Friedkin this morning, do you know?
Yeah.
Not to worry.
No. I'd be going, right, that's it. Moyes is on my hit list now. He's out the door. Because I've forgotten all he did last year. I forgot.
No, nobody's at that point. I don't think the Everton fans
but I'm being facetious.
I know you are. But the reality is the Everton team or the squad, although it's been strengthened and they've made some good signings, changing 7 is a huge risk.
We've got outrage coming in from Everton fans.
Well, the Evertonians aren't happy, and they're right to, because they've seen this so often. I mean, Simon, you always quite rightly ask for context. In this show, we bring context to everything that we talk about. In the last 15 years, 10 third-round exits.
Moisey did not put that team out.
Everton.
I don't think Moisey thought they were going to lose.
There's a decade-long pattern here.
Right.
David didn't think they were going to lose and deliberately...
Field your toughest team, go out and win it. As Danny says, they're not in action again until when?
Next
Monday.
Yeah, I get the dynamics of it, but I mean, despite the hullabaloo, I mean, the League Cup isn't that big a deal.
Oh, here we go.
But it isn't.
It is when you get to the semis and the
try telling the Newcastle fans that when they were leaving Wembley.
Would have done.
No, there isn't.
Everton would have, if they won this game,
why not? Don't go in it. Don't play any of the first team.
But there is an argument that ultimately the clubs that their priority, whether we like it or we don't like it, what is the priority? Going deep in the League Cup, or maybe getting into a League Cup final and winning it and sacrificing.
They can prioritise both because they're not in Europe. These are super fit.
But he obviously doesn't think he can.
I know that.
So,
but I'm saying
he's rotated, and isn't it about the play? If you've got a playing squad against the dysfunctional, poor Wolves side, and some of those players
he expected them to win.
He expected them to win.
He did.
So why don't we turn the narrative onto the players? Why has it always got to be the coach and go, well, the coach gave these guys a chance, right? Managing a football team in this modern age with bigger squads.
Both, yeah.
Why don't we give it to the players? Why don't we say, well, what about you lot letting the fans down? Why couldn't you have pulled your fingers out because you wanted an opportunity, you've been given an opportunity, you let your coach down, you let the fans down? How about that for a conversation?
They're not playing a pub team, by the way. Wolves are a Premier League team. Got some good players.
Yeah.
But
I think you're absolutely right to throw that in.
Jim, ultimately...
But what would you rather have? A mid-table finish in the Premier League or you won a cup for the first time in 30 years.
You don't have to choose. That's the key. And that's why the fans are frustrated. You don't have to prioritise.
Yeah.
You've got 6 days till the next
Are they
game.
frustrated though?
Yeah,
well, let's find out if you're frustrated or not. Let's hear from a few of you.
They will be.
And remember, when you come on, you've got to wish Simon happy birthday.
Don't swear.
Contract. Anyway, Evertonians, what do you think? I mean, this was undoubtedly a missed opportunity, was it not last night? Well done to Wolves. Haven't been going well, of course, in the Premier League. Lost 5 from 5, but they won 2 from 2 in this competition. So, all right, Wolves, your night. But on Everton, was it a missed opportunity? Fielding a team that was 7 changes to the starting lineup last time around. And remember, you haven't won a trophy. We don't need me to remind you. You haven't won a trophy in the last 30 years. I've got this mental image of this man, Matt Ruggiero, who's a sales manager in the US on a treadmill or maybe on an exercise bike in the gym. Matt sent me an email overnight. You'll be in the gym, I'm sure, this morning, Matt, in New Jersey, USA, as you are, at this particular time, because you train at this time, because you tune in to listen to Simon on the show, and I'm delighted about that. You play football with Scottish teams in New Jersey, and you're a listener every morning, and you turn 60 this week. So Simon, and Danny, shall we wish Matt Ruggiero happy birthday this morning? Happy birthday to you, Matt.
Should we do birthday requests for everyone?
Birthday request for everybody.
Yes.
I am an unpaid but very energetic and enthusiastic birthday request announcer.
Just get on with some serious radio instead of birthday hour.
Thank you. Oh, I like that, Danny. Thank you very much indeed. Matt, have a good one, mate, and continue to listen over there in New Jersey. Many Evertonians getting in touch, and we thought you would. Because you are very frustrated this morning, not only over the fact that you went out of the Carabao Cup at the third round stage last night, but the manner in which you went out and the team that was fielded. Many of you getting in touch. 03717 223344. 30 years since you last lifted a major trophy. That was the 1995 FA Cup. You saw Palace win the FA Cup recently. You saw Newcastle win the Carabao Cup. And in spite of what birthday boy Jordan says, we didn't make a 4-act play about that. But Newcastle did win it and deserved all the adulation that they got. But Everton have gone out again. The last 15 years, 10 third-round exits for Everton. 03717 223344. Here's Ian, who's a big Everton fan. Ian, good morning. I take it you're somewhat frustrated, are you?
Very much so, very much so. First of all, happy birthday to Simon.
Thank you, mate.
Keep the hair dye going, Simon. Looking good, mate.
Good lad. Forward it off you.
Yeah,
So Ian, on you go. I mean, he made 7 changes to the lineup last night. What did you think?
I just think with regards to a bit of momentum going forward for us as well, we've done really well in the derby. And I was watching the match with me dad and my brother, and the three of us were just scratching our heads at the team selection with regards to, everybody was looking forward to watching Grealish because he's been playing out of his skin, and it was a great opportunity for us to possibly get a bit of silverware, which it's longer waited. As you say, it's been over 30 years for the cup, and I think a lot of Everton fans have just basically, I've spoken to a few this morning myself, and we're just baffled at the team selection with regards to we played Wolves not long ago, and we beat them.
Yeah.
And it was, as I say, it was just head scratching. Just couldn't understand the selection of the team. And I know Simon's touched on the fact that the players who come in, they've got an opportunity to stake a claim for a place and do well. And there is a point that they could, you could say they've let the team down and the coach. But I just think, I'm not jumping on David Moyes here because he's been absolutely fantastic for us. But the team selection and the chance we had to possibly win a trophy, again, just absolutely baffled by the team selection.
I think that's the very point, Ian, and I think you've nailed it. Let's hear of Chris, who's another Evertonian, if he thinks the same. Chris, good morning. What's your take on it?
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Danny. Good happy birthday, Simon.
Thank you, mate.
What did you think, Chris?
I was going to start singing, but I was going to sing happy birthday, but I don't think I've got time.
No.
My thing is I don't get it. Like, so the squad's travelled down together, yeah. Wolves rattled, obviously low on confidence. Start your youngest team, get a lead, and then take them off for the rest. What's the point in giving them a rest for the first half and playing them in the second half? Do you know what I mean? I get, like, I don't get, like, you've got more chance, surely, Danny could probably, if we're chasing a game and you're obviously, there's a bit more adrenaline, surely there's more risk of an injury when they're chasing the game and obviously attacking and tackles are flying in, than go out, get a lead and then take them all off. Do you know what I mean? That's what I don't get. I mean, these fans saying it's our chance to win a trophy, it's only the third round. Do you know what I mean? They're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but the last few years we've gone out of competitions like these, and then it's had a knock-on effect because we started the season well, not last year, the year before, and then we got beat in a cup, and then the Premier League form suffers as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's a pattern, isn't it? Like, it's a pattern, Chris, that you don't like.
But I just don't get, like, I just don't get if the squad's travelled down and he's got to play them in the second half chasing the game. Why not? You know, Wolves are obviously low on confidence. As soon as they scored, you could see that they got more confident. If we go and score first early with a strong team out,
then you can bring people off.
Their heads would probably drop. Exactly. If he hadn't brought them on or they hadn't travelled, I could, you know, it's a different story. I think, you know, I could understand that because I understand the Premier League. But if they've travelled down, they're part of the matchday squad. What difference does it make playing the first 40 or the last 40?
That's the point, Danny, isn't it?
I've always felt that. I've always felt that if you're going to take your big boys, start them and then bring them off as and when you can, if you've got a lead or whatever it is. I think trying to change momentum in a game and chase the game's harder. And also, even for the lads who are the best players coming off the bench, sometimes they don't hit the ground running. You know,
yeah. Weren't they there in the event of a fallback position?
Yeah, but then
it wasn't the outcome that he didn't want to use them, only had to use them because they were in trouble. Isn't it a case of if the game's stretched, the opposition is tireder, you're more likely to be more impactful?
It wasn't stretched because what Wolves did, I only watched bits, but they were 1-0 up, so they defended the lead and played on the counter.
Right.
Changes the dynamic. Then you're coming on as a creative player.
But the physicality of players is diminishing during the game. If you've come for 60 minutes,
you can look at it both ways. To be honest, you could make an argument for both. Ultimately,
this is the third round of the League Cup. It feels like a bunch of bald men arguing over a comb. It wasn't going to make that much difference. It wasn't any guarantee that they were going to win this competition.
I think I get where you're coming from.
The bald men have been arguing over the comb for a long number of years now.
When you understand the history of Everton and the size of the support and how many fans went down there.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a proper number of the game.
Yeah.
They've gone expecting to see
a
result with the majority of their players.
And we all like David Moyes, but we're not stoking it up here. No. The fact remains...
I think the Evertonians wouldn't be...
15 years, 10 third-round exits.
I don't think they'd be as disgruntled if he'd made 2 or 3 changes.
Right.
But you've got your main creators.
But he made 7. Carl, very briefly,
a lot.
Take us to the break, Carl. What's your thought on this? You're a big Evertonian. Good morning.
Morning. Happy birthday, Simon.
Thank you.
I'm not frustrated as everybody else. I think it's on the players more than the manager. Like, squad players need to be given a chance. And if they don't take it, they don't get near the squad. So I'm not that frustrated. We were never going to win it. It's fine.
Never going to win it. Well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it. I'm not sure there were many Newcastle fans that went into it thought we're still not going to win this.
He obviously didn't go to the game, but 4,000 of them who did probably be feeling a bit different.
Yeah. I would think so. So the fact of the matter is it's Wolves who progress, and all good luck to them. They did the job in the night. Everton didn't. Jim White, Simon Jordan, Danny Murphy live in talkSPORT with Selco, where the trade goes. We're coming to you live on Samsung, LG, of course, various ways to watch us as well, even Prime Video. Whatever you want to watch, we will be there for you. At the weekend, there was quite a bit of fallout, was there not? Danny was with Simon and myself on Monday morning when we spoke about the nature of Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1. Erling Haaland scored in the 9th minute, cancelled out by Martinelli in time added on. Both managers somewhat criticised for their perceived cautious approach in that game. Danny pushed back on that on Monday morning. Now in the build-up to Manchester City going in against Huddersfield tonight in the Carabao Cup and Arsenal going in against Port Vale, which is live on talkSPORT, the managers themselves have pushed back a bit. This was Pep.
Against Napoli, we changed the play we played against Napoli. 3 days later, we changed our way to play. I'm really good. We changed absolutely everything in 3 days. It must be a really, really good manager. Sometimes opponents are good and create the challenges that you cannot handle it and the other one. But no, since I retired, in this club, I'm retired, I would love to play in the way I want to play. Sometimes we are not able. Sometimes we are not good. Sometimes the opponent is better. But for one game is bad, and saying that the team is going, I want to make the transition. We defend deep. Always I said, when we defend deeper because they are better, we are. You can run. You can run transition, run. But it's because we are there. But in the principle, I prefer regain half of the pitch and make a lot of possessions to destruct the opponents, to try to punish them. Always have been like that, and always I will be like that.
So that was Pep using some flowery language, but nonetheless denying that there's any kind of evolution going on, Simon.
Well, he's spot on.
Sometimes the opponent is just better than it.
Yeah, they got overran second half, overpowered, and they had to adapt accordingly. So, and probably in the back of their minds, the players were thinking of Brighton when they were winning and got done in the last 20 minutes, half hour. And you have to give credit to Arsenal for that. Just constantly on them, high line, press, taking risks, and Man City couldn't play through it. They didn't have the creativity or the nous to get out often enough.
So this isn't a different City in your eyes in any shape or form?
No.
It's still the same outlook?
In terms of quality, it might be, because they're losing player. You know, if you think of De Bruyne.
They still play the same way.
They still try and dominate, and they still try and play attacking football. All the games this season, they've played the same way.
But the argument has been they set up differently against Arsenal to respect the fact that Arsenal were far better.
They didn't set up that way. The game changed into that second half.
But do you think that Man City are operating because he's a victim of his own success?
Yeah.
Because the dominance of the City side up until last season that was so all-consuming and all-dominating, you don't think there's a change?
I think there's an obvious change in terms of what you're seeing because the personnel in it is a bit different and not as good. So they're going to be more susceptible. But ultimately, when City go out on the pitch, like they have in every other game this season, we know they go out to win.
I hear you, but we accept the reasons. But the principle is, have City changed, and did they change their philosophy against Arsenal? And the answer is yes, they did. Is that something there should be recriminations for?
I don't think it was from choice. Even that's what he's saying. Sometimes you have to adapt. You're against an opponent so much.
But it is through choice because it's a tacit acceptance at Manchester City now that playing against Arsenal is you're potentially playing against a better side. And the narrative that's being spun is not an unfair narrative, which is that Man City once upon a time dominated everybody. That ship has sailed now, and so the evolution of Man City is a tacit acceptance. Because when he came into the country in 2016. He did not accept it. He couldn't play a certain way. Everybody went, hang on a second, you can't play that way in the English Premier League. And they finished third in their first season. But he pursued it. In this instance, he's changed his approach. He recognises that the team he's playing against are better.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go toe-to-toe with them. He's going to do what the pragmatic thing is.
In the last half hour of the game, he did. And he made the subs accordingly.
Have you seen them do that before, ever?
No.
So
there we are then.
No, but we're talking about it from a generic, as in, is he changing? Is he changing this team's thinking? Is he changing his mind? He's not. He's just said he's not. But he said, I will carry on trying to win games and go forward.
What you just said, you haven't seen them cede possession like they did to Arsenal at the weekend.
They had no choice.
But they set up. Okay, I take your point.
The first half was an equal game. Arsenal were as cautious as City. We see that in big games. City went in 1-0 up.
Yeah. But the reality is a sea change in his mentality because if his mentality was never explain, never complain, right? That's the mentality of the royal family. In his instances, it was never change the way I want to play, irrespective of the opposition. I will come into the English Premier League and I will play the football that I've played everywhere else and don't care what people tell me. Now he does care. Now he does care that actually I had better not try and change the direction of travel of this game by going toe-to-toe with them. What I'm content to do for the last 30 minutes is shut the game down.
Yeah, because
nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No.
But it is not an unfair criticism to say that's a change in his mentality.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a change.
Wiser manager.
Whether he had to or not.
I don't think it's going to be a permanent change. That's the narrative. He's like, is this side evolving to become more pragmatic?
So what he'll do is once he gets himself back to the position he was once in before, he'll go back to type, which is being able to play the way he wants to. But he's not at that stage yet. He's accepting that his team is in transition, that he hasn't got to the level that he needs to get to, where he can do what he wants in a game, which is what they did previously.
Yeah, because he felt Arsenal.
So the point is well made then, isn't it?
Well, this is it. And then when you look at Arsenal, many felt that Arsenal played too much with the handbrake on. Arteta obviously spoke going into this game tonight, Arsenal up against Port Vale away, and that's live in talkSPORT. So speaking about Sunday, he said, hang on a second, we play with the handbrake on. This was Mikel.
The goals that we scored, the clean sheet that we had, the way we played against Manchester City, in the territory we play against Man City. But I mean, I cannot waste that opportunity. And if the intention of those comments, which ones are the good ones, positive, to be better for us, not to be so good for us. So depending where the comment is coming from, I think that's when I can analyze it. See what is the intention, what is the purpose of that? Because I had a lot of things using my phone. They could not believe what we did to Manchester City. And people that are coaches, managers, CEOs, presidents, so proud. And I look at the players and the people around. So I'm much more filled and fueled with that with other ones that they want to make that.
Mikel was getting club presidents, CEOs getting in touch. Never seen this before.
That's why you don't.
The way you played against Man City.
Interviews like that. That's why you don't like him.
Detail, yeah. He did. The proof is always on the pitch. You don't need to validate yourself. People who know football understand the evolution of the team. Arsenal are now in a position, because of him, where they don't go to big...
Is it in isolation? It's one thing to take all the plaudits for saying this is what you did to Man City, but Man City did it themselves because they're in transition.
But we're talking about the last
So are
few
we saying
years.
the best version of Manchester City would have had this done to them by the best version of Arsenal?
We're talking about Arsenal and what he's talking about in his
But
interview.
he's laying a claim to the fact that people are saying how wonderful he did to do this to Manchester City.
But I'm not agreeing he should have said that.
But the fact of the matter is, he didn't do it to Man City. Man City have done it to themselves.
No, that's not
They've
true.
turned themselves now
It's
because
always
they
a
haven't
bit of both.
transitioned into the same side.
Well, if Man City have turned themselves into that, why has no one else done it to them? Nobody.
But we're not disputing that Arsenal are at a level. They bloody well should be.
That's the point,
But
and that's what he's trying to validate.
It's not in a
Maybe in
vacuum,
the-
is it? It's not in a vacuum. It's not. You haven't got the best Man City going in having done to them. You've got a Man City that is a way away from what it was before. So Man City have declined. Arsenal have progressed.
Hold on,
so it's
Arsenal-
not a fair comparison.
Man City have been a good side for a long time. Arsenal haven't lost.
Not last year they were.
Arsenal haven't lost to Man City for 3 seasons. Let's get that right.
No one's
So this
disputing
ain't a
it.
one-off.
But Man City have been in decline for the last year. Do you accept that?
Yes.
Right. So then you're not comparing like for like. Arsenal have progressed. Man City
But I
have
wasn't.
declined.
You're
and
talking
of
about his comments, not mine. I'm saying I don't think he's gone about that the right way by making it this massive deal that they've pushed City
But I also
back.
don't think it's a true narrative.
Well, it is true because nobody else has done that to City. Hence the fact the numbers tell you that no game in
Well,
City.
they all did it to him last year,
No, they didn't, Simon. You're missing the point.
didn't they?
Nobody. City. Let me give you some facts. Man City
Your version of
had least possession in that game since Pep got there.
Right. Okay.
Right?
That's a good statistic.
That is a hell of a statistic.
It's a great
from a
statistic.
team.
It helps your argument and doesn't help mine.
Well,
I
exactly.
don't like that statistic.
No, it's a big one because it shows you how dominant they were. Look,
Yeah.
the reality is this: City aren't what they were, and Arsenal didn't beat them. So,
Yeah.
take from you whatever you want.
So are they both right?
I
Are
think
Pep and Arteta both right?
they've both got valid points. It's just how you communicate them. I personally think, and I might be wrong, and we said this on Monday, I think Arsenal are in a really good place,
Yeah.
and I think they'll be up there at the end of the season.
Okay,
You think
Danny,
they'll
let him win. It's his birthday.